Vasudevaya.
Narayanam namaskrityam naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tado jayam udire nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu bhavata
Nityam
sevaya
Bhagavata.
bhavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtuki. Hare Krishna. Reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2 and verse number 2, 222. So, Shabdasya hi brahmana esha pantha yannamabhir dhyayanti dhir aparthai aparthai paribhramam tatrava na vindate artham maya maye vasanaya shayana. Correction. Should I go ahead with the word to word, Prabhu?
Please.
Okay. Shabdasya of the Vedic sound.
Vedic sound.
He certainly.
Certainly.
Brahmana of the Vedas. Isha, these. Panta, the way. Yat, what is. Namavi, by different names. Dhyayati, ponders. The intelligence. Aparthai, by meaningless ideas. Paribhraman, wandering. Tatra, there. Na, never. Vindate, enjoys. Arthan, realities. Maya, maye, in illusory things. Vasanaya, by different desires. Shayana, as if dreaming. Translation. The way of presentation of Vedic sounds is so bewildering that it directs the intelligence of the people to meaningless things like the heavenly kingdoms. The conditioned souls hover in dreams of such heavenly illusory pleasures, but actually they do not relish any tangible happiness in such places. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki jai. The conditioned soul is always engaged in laying out plans for happiness within the material world, even up to the end of the universal limit. He is not even satisfied with available amenities on this planet Earth, where he has exploited the resources of nature to the best of his ability. He wants to go to the moon or the planet Venus to exploit resources there. But the Lord has warned us in the Bhagavad Gita 8.16 about the worthlessness of all the innumerable planets of this universe, as well as those planets within our system, other systems. There are innumerable universes and also innumerable planets in each of them. But none of them is immune to the chief miseries of the material existence, namely the pangs of birth, the pangs of death, the pangs of old age, the pangs of disease. The Lord says that even the topmost planet, known as the Brahmaloka or Satyaloka, and what to speak of other planets like the heavenly planets, is not a happy land for residential purposes. Due to the presence of the material pangs, as above mentioned, conditioned souls are strictly under the laws of fruitive activities. And as such, they sometimes go to the Brahmaloka and again come down to Patala Loka. And if they were unintelligent children to go merry-go-round, the real happiness is in the kingdom of God, where no one has to undergo the pangs of material existence. Therefore, the Vedic ways of the fruitive activities for the living entities are misleading. One thinks of a superior way of life in this country or that, or on this planet or another, but nowhere, in the material world can he fulfill his real desire of life, namely eternal life, full of intelligence and complete bliss. Indirectly, Srila Sukadeva Goswami affirms that Maharaja Parikshit, in the last stage of life, should not desire to transfer himself to the so-called heavenly planets, but should prepare himself for going back home, back to Godhead. None of the material planets, nor the amenities available there for living conditions, is everlasting. Therefore, one must have a factual reluctance to enjoy such temporary happiness as they afford. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhuji. We hand over to you now.
Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. All glories to all the assembled devotees. Thank you for inviting me today. So we are continuing our study of Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 2, Chapter 2. Today's text is number 2. The chapter is entitled The Lord in the Heart. So this is a very, perhaps a depressing purport, some people may say. It is perhaps, you may say it is not a optimistic, pleasant kind of purport. And speaking quite negatively about this particular realm and everything inside it, all the planets. The setting, of course, is Maharaj Parikshit is getting ready to leave this world, and Shukadev Goswami is advising him. At the end of the purport, Srila Prabhupada summarizes that none of the material planets nor the amenities available there for living conditions is everlasting. Therefore, one must have a factual reluctance to enjoy such temporary happiness. So that's the thing. The beginning of any genuine spiritual life is recognition that we are transcendental entities, spiritual beings. We are inhabiting a particular body. We're all in particular bodies, animal bodies and human bodies, bird bodies, insect bodies, traveling. Deyanosmin yata dehi kamonam yovanam jara tatati antara praptir diras tatra namuyate. That the embodied soul is passing from boyhood to youth to old age. And similarly, at the time of death, we transfer to another body. So this is the very beginning of genuine spirituality. The very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna speaks a lot about how Arjuna is, and we are eternal. That we are not woman or man, old or young, fat or thin. None of these things. We're not Hindu or Muslim, Jewish, English, or African. These all relate to the outer shell, the outer overcoat. And we learn in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita that we, the eternal soul, is covered by two different coverings. We have the gross physical form and then the subtle form of mind, intelligence, and false ego. So these are all separate from ourself. Aparayasitas tvanyam vidime prakriti param jivabhuta mahabaho yayedam daryate jagat, Lord Krishna says. He says, Bhumer povalo nalo kamana buddha evacha ahankaram ityam me bina prakata ashtada. That, my dear Arjuna, this material energy is comprised of the earth, water, fire, air, ether, mind, intelligence, and false ego. And then in the next verse, he says, aparayam itastvanyam. That separate from all of that, separate from the wood and the metal, and the plastic and the air and the fire, separate from all of that is our self, a spirit soul. Aham Brahmasmi. I am spirit. I am not African. I'm not black. I'm not white. I am eternal, transcendental, spirit soul, tiny little spark of the Supreme Brahman. So this is who we are. Lord Chaitanya, of course, Krishna, he taught this when Sanatana Goswami came to see him for the first time. after retiring, Sanatana Goswami asked that people say I'm very intelligent, I have big position, I know many languages, and he did. And he was very intelligent, and he was very capable manager. But he said to Lord Chaitanya that I'm suffering so much, and I don't know why. I don't even really know who I am. So this is the truth. Uh, you know, myself or yourself, other people, we may be very capable, really, we may be capable persons in this world in different ways, uh, but we may lack self-realization, just as there's capable animals, right? The chimpanzees, they're able to accomplish many things. The gorillas, they live in organized societies and very organized, and they communicate by vocal sounds, and they communicate with especially bodily what they call bodily cues. Yeah, if you read about the chimpanzees and gorillas, they have a complex social social order. Everyone knows their position, and everyone has their duty, and are capable and intelligent. Lions and leopards, they're very capable, intelligent, um, but they don't understand themselves. They don't have self-realization. So this is an interesting thing that someone may be uh, qualified with abilities, but self-realization they may not have. So this material world is a place where of us who are part of Krishna, who are fallen down into this temporary realm of matter. But we are separate. Aparayamitastvanyam, vidime prakati jivam, jivabhuta mahabaho yayedam, yayedam daryate jagat. Lord Krishna says that the living entities are struggling with this material nature. And we are struggling, aren't we? It doesn't matter how capable we are. Even that Sanatan Goswami, he was a government minister. He was one of the right hand men of the prime minister. Very high post, very intelligent. Uh, but he said, I'm suffering in so many ways in this world. And ultimately, I'm birth, death, old age, and disease. Janma, mrityu, tara, vyadi, birth, death, old age, and disease. So these things are there. It's not a matter of faith. It's not a crazy Hare Krishna belief system. There's birth and there's growing older and diseases and death and so many miseries. Uh, we don't have to speak about that all day, but it's true. So last week we were discussing, and other weeks, how it is that just because people are walking on two legs, it doesn't mean that all of us humans have the same thinking ability, have the same ability to cognition. There is the word cognition, which reminds us of the word ignition. When you light a lighter, you flick it and it ignites the flame, or you use a match and it ignites and the flame goes up. There's ignition. When you turn the key of the vehicle, it causes a spark, and that spark causes the gasoline, the compressed vapor, to explode. There's ignition, it's poof. So then cognition, it's the same thing. We're asleep and then we smell smoke and we have cognition. There's a fire and we get up and we run, or get our family members, friends out of the house. But what if we were very intoxicated? We drank a lot of liquor or something. Then we might not have cognition. Or if we were just deeply asleep, we would not have cognition. So that's the thing we know about intoxicants. Our cognition, our ability to cognate, to recognize things goes down. It goes down very much. And it's not that the fire, just because I'm asleep or just because I'm very intoxicated, it doesn't mean the fire's not there. It is there. I don't have the ability to cognate, to realize the fact. So there are different abilities uh, to realize things, to understand things. And the same is true uh, about self-realization, God consciousness. We ask, well, why is it that so and so doesn't understand Krishna consciousness? Why don't they appreciate it? Why can't I convince them? They're not able. Some of us can lift 10 kilograms, 5 kilograms, 50. Some of us might be able to lift 100 kilograms. That doesn't make any of us better. Just because I can run faster or I can calculate mathematics in my mind fast doesn't make me better or worse. It's an ability. And so I'm just making the point that uh, it is often the simple fact that people don't appreciate this Hare Krishna because they're just not able. They don't have the ability, which is sad. Uh, of course, that can be fixed. And that is why we have our sadhana, so that we can have more and more ability to cognate, to realize these facts. We were speaking last week about the goats. We want to avoid the dull-headedness of a goat. They're at the slaughterhouse and they're satisfied to eat the grass while their brothers and sisters are getting murdered sometimes. So they're dull-headed. They're not cognating, you see. So here, Shukadev Goswami is making this point with uh, Maharaj Pariksit that uh, because we are eternal beings, nothing in this world is of any absolute use to us. And it's simply not possible to be happy forever in this world. Although our mind tries for that, you know. Sometimes we think, oh, that was such a good movie. I could watch the movie again and again. Oh, I went to this place. It was very good. Let me go back to that place. Our mind thinks like that. Uh, Let me attend so many different restaurants and eat good food, and I'll be happy forever. If I could just find the right man, the right woman, I'll be happy forever, every day. So our mind thinks like that. It's a habit to think that there's a way to be permanently joyful in this world. Uh, but it's just again, it's not a belief system. It's just, well, I guess you could say it is from a certain perspective, but logically, if I live forever, if I'm eternal, there is no ice cream, there's no movie, there's no person, there's nothing that can satisfy me forever. Uh, and we know that. We have experience. This world is temporary, and we are eternal. And we belong with Krishna in the parampara. Uh, what is that verse in the 15th chapter? I forget the Sanskrit. Uh, that that abode of mine is not illumined by the sun or the moon, nor by electricity, and one who goes there never comes back to this material world. There are so many references in the Bhagavad Gita and in the other Upanishads, the other spiritual parts of the Vedic literatures. The Bhagavad Gita is called the Gita Upanishad, and there's many Upanishads. Kena Upanishad and the Shvetashvatara Upanishad, 108 different Upanishads, and they speak a lot. They focus very much upon spiritual realization, spiritual self-realization. And this is the critical thing that if we don't have that, or if we don't, to the extent that we have that, then we can begin genuine spiritual life. And to the extent that we don't, then we won't. Why should we? If we think that I am British, I'm a British woman, and I'm born in wherever, London, and this is my family, and these are my friends, and this is my job, and this is what I do, and what I should do. My life is in this world. If someone comes and starts speaking about a spiritual, eternal place, you might be very prone to say it's rubbish. You're just some crazy person. What are you talking about? Some uh, so Shukadeva Goswami in the verse he says the way of presentations of the Vedic sounds is so bewildering that it directs the intelligence of the people to meaningless things like the heavenly kingdoms. So what's that talking about? In all religions, the Christian religion especially, we hear about going to heaven, isn't it? In the Islamic religion, there is going to heaven. You live your life in a good way, you be a good person, and you'll go to heaven, right? The Jewish, all the different religions, they have this understanding of being a good person and not hurting anyone, obeying God, and you'll go to heaven. But here, Shukadeva Goswami is saying that all of that is meaningless uh, because it's temporary. Because it's temporary. What is the use of it? Why try for that? So this is meant for more advanced souls. You know, somehow we are fortunate because of our past life activities, because of the mercy of advanced pure devotees. We are going on to trigonometry. You know, we can think about it like that the people who are trying to be good people, the good Christians, the good Jewish, the good Islamic people, everyone there, they are trying to be good. And they are certainly respectable. And they are religious. They are religious. Uh, but it's a certain level, just like mathematics, right? Adding and subtracting, division, fractions, what else? Long division, the algebra, it's all mathematics. You can't say that someone who is just doing adding and subtracting is not doing math. They are. And then there is other, right? Geometry, trigonometry, calculus, different levels of calculus. So that's also mathematics, but it's more progressed. So in that way, this Srimad Bhagavatam, it is meant for those who are further along, who are ready for the next level of spirituality, which is quite serious. As we began discussing, not just trying to be a good person, but actually self-realization. The first chapter of the second canto began first steps of God realization. So this is what separates the women from the girls and separates the men from the boys, so to speak, in the realm of spirituality. This self-realization. So we speak about cognition. Uh, so all of us, we have heard these things. We've heard these things perhaps many, many times, and we can say that we understand them. But how deeply? how deeply do we understand it? We can always have more realization, deeper realization. So we are encouraged and we are instructed to go for that. Don't just try to be a good person, but be a good person who's self-realized. Try and understand yourself. Atato Brahma Jigyasa. The Vedic scriptures begin that now that we have this human form of life, our career is God realization and self realization. And whatever else we do, it's only to help that. If it doesn't help that, we avoid it. And if it does help, then we accept it. Um, so Srila Prabhupada discusses in detail, is quite graphic. There are innumerable universes and innumerable planets, but none of them is immune to the chief miseries of material existence: birth, death, old age, and disease. The Lord says that even the topmost planet, known as Brahmaloka or Satyaloka, is not a happy land for residential purposes. Um, so how was that? I mean, we there is some happiness, isn't there? I mean, isn't it? If you have sufficient money in the bank and you have a good job and you're living in a good neighborhood, a good part of the country, uh, and the sun is shining, isn't that a happy day? Yes, of course it's a happy day compared to living in the ghetto or some dangerous place and you don't have much food. Of course it's better, uh, in a relative way. See that's the thing. Where this Srimad Bhagavatam is speaking about absolute happiness, permanent happiness, not just a nice, pleasant day or a pleasant week or a good month or two. So this requires a clear head and good intelligence, at least to grasp this. We may not be able to act on it completely, but at least to appreciate, yes, I'm eternal, and it's a crazy thing to try and be happy forever in this world. I'm going to have to leave this place. Even if it is a nice day, I could leave this nice day in the next hour. So it's two truths which are true at the same time. It is relatively, perhaps, a nice day. It's not raining. People aren't attacking with machetes and guns. But then, absolutely speaking, uh, it's a dangerous place every day, uh, and it's not my home. So it's all right. It's we shouldn't try and force ourselves to think it's all bad, terrible. Uh, there's no happiness. There's no love. It's all nothing because it's not nothing, and there is some little love, and there is some nice days, relatively. And we can thank Krishna for that, and use it so that we can be more peaceful to think of him. Um, so we just avoid, we just keep a balance. That's all. That yes, this is some good food. That's nice. Next hour, I could be at the hospital, right? Or I could leave this world. Or I will in 20, 40, 60 years. We don't try to remain awake. So that this is what we're doing by associating with the pure devotees, by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, by coming together regularly to hear this spiritual knowledge. We just want to stay awake and stay close. All of us, we have our minds, and sometimes our minds are more interested and less interested, and sometimes we kind of drift away for a little while, some weeks or some months, and then we become again more enthusiastic. That's the reality, especially in the beginning years. Uh, some of us more, some of us less. It's a little up and down, but we never want to go away completely. So that's the point that I want to make. And Srila Prabhupada encourages us that stay near the light. You know, we should never give up. We should never throw in the towel. We should never think, oh, I'm not following this, I'm not following that, I made this mistake. No. Well, maybe yes, but don't go away. We want to encourage each other. Don't uh, give up this process. Uh, Go on hearing about Krishna. Go on associating with advanced devotees. Stay near the light of Krishna, no matter what. Krishna wants us. Krishna loves us very much. We may be, uh, or other people may be very critical of our lackings and mistakes. And of course, Krishna knows about them. But Krishna's not like us. He's not like other people. He's very, very, very understanding. And he knows how hard it is. Sometimes we are too hard on our own self. So we should be strict as we can, but at the same time, never Krishna never condemns us. Uh, and we should never condemn ourselves. We should never condemn anyone else. Uh, and gradually, it will all turn out. That's the thing. If we just stay near the light, eventually, we will become lit. You know, it's just like if you take the metal knife and you put it in the fire and you take it out and you put it back in the fire, take it out. But if you keep it near the fire, the metal will glow red and more red and more red. So that's it. Never, we should never go away from Krishna entirely. So, any questions or discussion about this? Comments? Anything?
Yes, Prabhuji. When you are discussing about the ability of animals to survive, chimpanzees and tigers and leopards, because when we think of ourselves, we don't have that kind of human beings don't have that kind of ability if left to, I mean, get their own food like the animals. So they have their natural instincts to get food and then survive on their own. But we have family support, we have society support. So we have built a society, but animals, they have the ability to sustain on themselves, which we don't have.
Yeah. Well, sometimes in extreme circumstances we do,
Yes.
sadly. Cannibalism.
Yes.
But yeah, it's a good point. Good point. Anyone else? Something?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Hare
Any?
Krishna, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, Prabhuji, for this nice class. And thank you for encouraging everyone to come together. This is something that is becoming less and less nowadays. We know that we are all busy, like rat race, as we say. But yeah, we should keep encouraging each other. Doesn't matter for how long, even for little time. Keep together, keep meeting. As I always say, we come together, we learn together, and we grow together. And it will be very
Yes, yes.
beautiful for everyone.
Very good.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
we should be
Thank you,
very
sir.
kind to each other. We should be kind to ourselves. Uh,
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Sometimes for different reasons we can be too hard on
Yeah.
ourselves and too hard on others. But Krishna's not like that. Lord Chaitanya certainly is not like that, which is no excuse for us to be silly. But you know, I'm not perfect, that's for sure, and I'm certainly not a very advanced pure devotee. We're all on the path together. We're all trying to make the journey, and we're a family. And you know, sometimes depending upon our relationships, we can speak to each other a little strongly, perhaps. Uh, you know, as friends or brothers, uncles, aunts, you know. But it's in love. It's with care. It's not just so that we feel better. Oh, I'm chanting 16 rounds. You're not. You're a rat. You're. It should not be like that. No. Very encouraging. And Krishna will be so happy with us. So, so happy. Because that, right? Because that's what he wants. He wants everyone to come back to him. Right. In the 18th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, the one who teaches the science of bhakti to my devotees, he doesn't say non-devotees, he says devotees, is very, very dear to me. So we don't have to be any big anything. It's just we encourage each other. And Krishna will be happy. Krishna will give us, right? Even every religion that says like that, that God is kind to those who are kind to others, right? So Srila Prabhupada speaks in this purport about, he uses the analogy of a merry-go-round. Uh, I don't know if everyone has seen those things, sometimes in the park, they have the horses and the children or the adults, they ride on them, they go up and down. And it's a merry-go-round and it goes around and around and around. So Srila Prabhupada puts it like that. Conditioned souls are strictly under the laws of fruitive activities, and as such, they sometimes go up to Brahmaloka and again come down to Patalaloka as if they were unintelligent children on a merry-go-round. So we are very, very fortunate. I'm fortunate. All of us are very fortunate to have the company of these great, great bhakti yogis. There's so many gurus in this world, so many pandits and babas, and many of them are very learned in different kinds of yoga and spirituality. But a pure devotee of Krishna is above everyone because they are, as Krishna says, Vasudevam Savamiti, uh, that they are Mahatmas. Mahatmanastamam Partha, Daivam Prakatam Ashrita. That the real Mahatma is someone who has taken shelter of Srimati Radharani, someone who's taken shelter of the internal energy of bhakti. So we are very, very fortunate. There are many pandits and Brahmins who teach, right? Jagyas to Ganesh, Jagyas to Lakshmi Devi, to Lord Shiva. So many mantras and tantras and rituals you can do to get things in this world, and they work to different degrees, depending how they're done. And in the Vedic scriptures, it speaks about the heavenly planets and how amazingly beautiful they are. The men are so handsome, and the women are so beautiful. Everything is smelling like perfume, and just a fabulous vacation place. You want to go on vacation, you go to the heavenly planets. But the fact is, however nice they are, they're nothing compared to the spiritual world, to where Krishna lives. And they're also temporary. They have those, what are they called? The Maldives, the islands off the coast of India. And there's some islands off the coast of Africa. So many islands. The Fiji Islands and Hawaii Islands, the islands off of Greece in the Mediterranean. If you look, they're so beautiful, just very, very beautiful. But they're temporary. And the heavenly planets are like that, except, dozens of times better than that. So like a merry-go-round, or those roller coasters, they go up and they go down and they're just up and down. So we are very fortunate to know that all of that, it is useless for us. And more importantly, it is the spiritual world. It is the realm of Krishna, Vaikuntha Loka, Goloka Vrindavan, which is useful for us. We want to focus on the positive, that I want to go back to Vaikuntha Loka. I want to go back to Goloka Vrindavan, where there is no up and down. Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam. It is the lotus feet of Lord Vishnu in the eternal spiritual world which is useful, most useful. So we want to hear about that. We want to hear about the spiritual world. Now the thing is, someone may say, well, that's all very good. That's jolly good. But I have 3 kids and I go to work every day from 7 until 6. And then I have to cook and then I have to clean and there's laundry and there's so many things. And my mother is sick and the dog is ill and I don't have the money for the mortgage this month. There's so much to think about sometimes, right? So many things. And so it's just difficult. And then you have these crazy Hare Krishnas telling that, well, this is all useless. You should think about the spiritual world. You don't want to hear it, right? I mean, our mind, who wants to hear that? I already have enough to deal with. And it may feel like that. But what can we do? We just somehow uh, don't entirely go out of the light. Even we are so busy, we can hardly think. So then we can hardly think. Don't become frustrated. Oh, I can't really think about Krishna. I can't read. I'm so busy. I have so many things. Okay. So maybe for the next year, the next 2 years, your children will grow up a little older. They'll take care of themselves more. You'll be out of school or whatever the change may be. It will happen. This material world is a place of change. If you just wait, things will change. You don't have to do anything. Things change. So we just somehow hang in there. And Krishna will help us to have strength. And we ask for strength. And gradually, Krishna will help us to, uh, uh, so it's easier to be Krishna conscious and feel more connected to Krishna. So we never want to go away. Never want to go away. Never. So I'll stop here. Anything else?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much. Are there any questions or comments before we close?
Before we break, I would like to share because so much, we must, especially in the beginning, we must be pessimistic. This place is not nice. Not my home, and all of that. But our process is positive, really. We want to be attracted to the positive. We want to be attracted to Krishna, so that it's more automatic that we're not interested in other things because we're more interested in Krishna. You see, it's more natural to do it like this, like a child. It's a little easier instead of saying no, 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 don't touch the scissors. Instead, you give the child some paper and some marker, some color, let them paint or to give them something positive to do, right? So we want to hear about Krishna. We want to hear the Bhagavad Gita and the philosophy. We want to hear the Srimad Bhagavatam, and the purports are very strict sometimes. You don't want to hear that. It's all bad. Sex is bad. Give up sex. Don't be interested in material enjoyment and all of that. And then we have also another style of Krishna consciousness in the Chaitanya Charitamrita and in the 10th canto in the Krishna book, where we just hear about the beauty of Krishna, the qualities of Krishna. We associate with people who are speaking so many nice things about Krishna. So I just wanted to share. There is one very great pure devotee of Krishna from a long time ago. Some of you may know his name, Bilva Mangal Thakur. So it's just to repeat briefly. So he was, living his life, and it wasn't showing any devotion. So he was like so many conditioned souls, so much attracted to the opposite sex. And he was feeling so disgusted by it. And finally, one prostitute advised him. She said, the thing is, if you were as devoted to Krishna as you are to me, you would be such a pure devotee. So somehow it was the time, and it hit. He had cognition. He had cognition. He said, "Yes, you are right." And so he turned his life around, and he wrote some bhakti poetry about Krishna, which is just amazing. Uh, so let me read here. He's given this book. It's called Krishna Karnamrita, which Srila Prabhupada mentions as something to hear. And it's a book of dozens of glorifications of Krishna. And it's very amazing because he's a very real person. He didn't walk off a flower airplane, into this world, as at least externally he seemed to be like me. I won't say you because I don't know. You're probably all liberated souls. But he's just someone in this world who awoke to Krishna consciousness. So he says, let the effulgence personified Krishna shine within our hearts. He is wearing a bright peacock feather on his head. His face is steeped in sweet beauty. His fresh youthfulness is bursting forth, and his flute is pouring out nectarian sounds of joy. On all sides, the milkmaids of Vraja worship him adoringly. Indeed, he is amazingly the only enjoyer and the only source of enjoyment in the entire universe. Sri Krishna's eyes are long like petals of blooming lotus, and his very charming lotus-like face is made all the more charming by his extremely beautiful and sweet nectarian smiles. His profuse curling hair looks delightful with the decoration of a peacock's tail feather. Let him, the embodiment of all effulgence, forever shine within my heart, which is outwardly greedy for the poisonous food of sense objects, but is also greedy for the beauty of Sri Krishna, a beauty that binds the devotee's mind and causes burning pain at the time of separation from him. So such a wonderful, wonderful soul to have this raga, this very intense attraction to Krishna. And we should go for that when we should find or we have some painting of Krishna that we especially like to meditate upon, or deities in the temple. And we should pray and we should look at the form of Krishna and hope to become like this, to have this inner flow of attraction for Krishna's form, for his qualities. We are meant to have this. It is our natural, normal way of thinking, really. So it's very encouraging and inspiring to have the association of such a pure, such a soul who genuinely is mad after Krishna. We struggle with our senses. Sometimes they're mad after this and mad after that, so many things. But here is this person, his mind is just like Queen Kunti, right? Srimad Bhagavatam. We heard that may my mind and love forever flow to you just like the Ganga flows to the ocean. She is praying for that. So we are meant to pray. We should not think, oh, I'm not so advanced. How can I pray like that? No, we must begin today. We can even offer prayer to our spiritual master, to Tulsi, to the Krishna, to Radharani, that I'm so unqualified. I don't even know how I can offer this prayer, but I am encouraged by my spiritual master. I am encouraged by my spiritual teachers to pray like this, that somehow or other may I please may I please have my mind flow like a river to you. We can pray like that, and we should pray like that. And Krishna will answer our prayer gradually, especially if we pray to Lord Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda. Yeah, we should not wait. Oh, I don't even hardly know I'm not this body. I I can't stop eating food. No, but that's why. That's why now, today, tomorrow, we carry on. Even Rupa Goswami, he offers us. See, the thing is, we hear the prayers and then we learn how to pray. We learn how to talk to Krishna. Sometimes people say, "How do I talk to Krishna?" Well, hear how the devotees. That, that that's the thing. We hear how they pray. So Srila Rupa Goswami, he prays that uh, I have no qualifications for bhakti yoga. I have so much difficulty controlling my senses. I don't have much Vedic knowledge. I can't even begin to imagine how I could become a pure devotee. But I know that you are Gopi Janavalabha. You are so attractive to the gopis, and you are capable of anything, and you are so kind. Hey Krishna, we say this prayer, but we should believe it. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dina Bandhu Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta Namoste. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, you're so kind. You're so kind to Putin the witch. You're so kind to Kubja. You're so kind to Bali Maharaj. You're so kind to me, supplying the sun and the food and the water and giving me intelligence. And even though sometimes my mind is offensive, you still give me good intelligence to love you. So you're so kind. So I'm asking today just one little drop of your mercy. At least for today, may I have prema, may I have raga for you. And especially we offer prayer to the pure devotees because that's easier to get Krishna's mercy. I was just hearing again a lecture. Srila Prabhupada was saying that the pure devotees, they have Krishna. They hold Krishna because of their love. And so if we offer prayer to them and we get their blessings, then Krishna, even even there's one prayer that where Lord Krishna says that even if someone is the lowest of mankind, a snake, but if somehow he pleases my pure devotee, then I will let him touch my feet. So that is our method. That we go through uh, the advanced pure devotees, and each of us may be attracted to one more than the other. Someone's attracted to Tulsi Devi, someone's attracted to Govardhan Hill, someone's attracted to Srimati Radharani or Lord Nityananda or whoever, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar. We have Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya Nityananda, Sri Advaita, Gadadhar. Gadadhar is an expansion of Srimati Radharani, Gadadhar Pandit, Srivas Pandit, and all the Gaur Bhakta Vrindas. So we want to take shelter of them feelingly. And if we do feel helpless, that's good. Then we should go in our temple room or we should do wherever we are, we should bow down. I am doomed if you don't help me. So that is good. That is good. So I will stop here. Other comments?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. I was just remembering His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj. One time I heard lecture that Karuna Sindhu, Krishna is Karuna Sindhu, meaning the mercy of Krishna is a bottomless, shoreless ocean. That's what meaning the Karuna Sindhu. That means the mercy doesn't have a bottom and doesn't have shore. So it's unlimitedly merciful.
Yeah. Not like me. Maybe not like my next door neighbor who gets angry if I do some little thing. No.
Okay. If there are no other questions or comments, can I request Prasanatma Prabhu? Are you in a position to close the session, Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Downward pronounce DinaSharana Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. All the devotees also please accept my humble obeisances. Yes, I won't say much. Just to close, something Prabhu you have mentioned about offering prayer and trying to be sincere. Today, coincidentally, there is this quotes we get from Srila Prabhupada about what he said on this day. So maybe I can just read quickly, then I can end the session by glorifying Prabhu. So Srila Prabhupada says we are addressing Hare Krishna, oh the energy of the Lord, oh the Lord, please accept me. That's all. Please accept me. We have no other prayer. Please accept me. Lord Chaitanya taught that we should simply cry and we should simply pray for accepting us. That's all. So this vibration is simply a cry for addressing the Supreme Lord, requesting him, please accept me, please accept me. So very inspirational, and thank you so much, Prabhu, for supporting us, for giving your much valuable time to be with us, and holding our hands and guiding us on our path, trying to be bhaktas and bhaktins. So thank you.
Before, just one, pardon me, but
yes.
one last thing. So if I'm sure all of you know already, but we may think that I don't feel sincere to pray, and we may not feel so, but so then I don't feel very sincere. Can I please somehow feel sincere, to pray sincerely? Begin where we are. Just be who we are. That's all. Yeah. Make it real.
Beautiful, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Praying for sincerity also very nice. Thank you, Prabhu. Thanks so much. I'll request the devotees to please unmute and chant Hare Krishna, glorification of His grace, DinaSharana Prabhu, for his wonderful class. Please let's join. Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare,
Hare Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Vancha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha.
Hari Hari Bol.
Jai.
Jai Nityananda Gauranga.
Jai.
Thank you so much.
DinaSharana Prabhu ki jai.
Jai.
Thank you for your company.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Prabhuji.
thank you, Prabhuji.
Hare Bol.
Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Be well.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Thank you.